So Walmart's got their 3 new tablets for 2024. This one is right in the middle at 8 inches. This one's only $79, but I'll leave a link down below with current pricing and more information. As far as the specs go, this one's going to be very close to the 10-inch version. It comes in 4 different colors: lavender, indigo, papaya, and the one shown here is pearl. It's got 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage, which to me seems a little bit on the low side considering it's 2024. It also has the MediaTek 8786 processor, just like the larger version. It also comes with Google Kidspace, also comes with Android 14, also has a micro SD card slot. The 8-inch display has a 1280 by 800 resolution. It does have a nice aluminum material here on the back. Looks pretty much like silver with just a hint of almost a pinkish hue to it. Of course, you have the user guide, quick start guide, and micro SD card tool. Also comes with a USB-A wall adapter and USB-C to USB-A charging cable as well. You can see where everything is located from the sticker here on the front. You've got 2 speakers down towards the bottom, your charging port, a volume and power button over on the right hand side, micro SD card tray there on the opposite side. Pretty similar style to the larger 10-inch version. I actually really like what they're doing with the hardware on these more affordable tablets. During setup, you still have the option of 3-button navigation or gesture navigation. You can see you have a little bit larger bezel on the top and bottom. And it's wide vinyl 3, so it's only going to be SD playback resolution for apps like Netflix, but it does go up to 1080p for YouTube videos. I feel like it actually looks a little better than I was expecting. I guess I don't mind it quite as much on a smaller screen like this versus the larger 10.1-inch version. It comes with Android 14 right out of the box, and it's going to be about as close to stock Android as you can get. Sort of interesting here on the home screen, they put the navigation buttons over to the right instead of at the bottom. I don't know if I've seen that before, but not a bad idea, I guess. You've got the Google Discover newsfeed left of the home screen. Most of the preloaded apps on here are the ones from Google. Obviously, they've got the Walmart app on here as well. Of course, you have a lot of other wallpapers that you can choose from. Up in the notification shade, you've got most of your typical stuff like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, flashlight, airplane mode, quick share, alarm, do not disturb, auto brightness, device control, QR code scanner, auto rotate, battery saver, screen cast and screen record, mic and camera access, and security and privacy. Of course, you can add quite a few other things on here like extra dim, dark theme, calculator, and so on. It's already using 14 gigabytes of storage, and I haven't downloaded any of the apps that I typically do, so you're going to be somewhat limited on how much stuff you can put on here. I might actually like this version over the larger 10.1 inch. You don't really notice the lower resolution as much, and it's just easier to handle. It's also easier to game with a tablet like this. As far as performance goes, I can't run Geekbench 6 tests on here because it's not 4 gigabytes. But yeah, you can tell this device is a little slower than some of the others out there. Surprisingly, I could still play PUBG Mobile and Asphalt 9 better than I was expecting on here. So you could do some light gaming with this. Just keep in mind, performance wise, this is going to be like the definition of entry level. I also ran my typical battery drain test on here at 100% screen brightness, and it lasted about 8.5 hours, which is pretty similar to the previous 8-inch on tablet, so a tad above average compared to some of the other tablets that I've tested. You should be able to get a couple days of mixed usage, especially if you turn the screen brightness down. And I would be patient with the charging on this and the larger 10.1-inch tablet, because these are probably some of the slowest charging tablets that I've seen in a while. Surprisingly though, if you want a little better battery life, you'll want to go with the larger 10.1-inch on tablet. Now you just have 2 speakers here on the side, but they are surprisingly louder than I thought they would be. I feel like if they would have put one on the other side, it'd be a little more balanced. And even though they're not the best sounding speakers, I feel like they're plenty loud enough. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what they sound like. You've got a 2 megapixel front facing camera, 5 megapixel on the back. Just like the larger tablet, the camera app on here is probably one of the most simple that you'll see on a tablet. You just have picture or video. Definitely seems a little more lower resolution compared to some of the others out there. So definitely not going to be the best out there. It does shoot up to 1080p for the rear facing camera. But here's a few samples of photo and video just to give you an idea of what to expect. So overall, I really like the hardware and software on these new Walmart tablets. I feel the 8-inch version kind of suffers from the same thing the 10-inch version does, and that's the low performance and storage. Yes, you could improve the screen quality to 1080p, but I feel like it should be at least 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage for budget devices like this. Just those two things alone wouldn't add much cost to these. Also, I'm not really sure how many software updates you're going to get with this tablet, so that's something you need to keep in mind as well. But I'll probably have to compare this to a couple others like the Fire HD 8 and the Galaxy Tab A9. But if you like phones, tablets, and other tech, I'm working on a ton of new stuff right now, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.